Today we're paying tribute to the top 5 musicians whose untimely deaths sent shockwaves across Africa, leaving an indelible mark on the Afro music scene. These icons didn't just shape the sounds of their time, they defined generations, influencing countless artists and music lovers across the continent and beyond. Their loss was deeply felt, yet their spirits remain immortalized through their art. As we commemorate these musical legends, we reflect not only on the immense talent they shared with the world, but also on the way their voices united diverse cultures, bridging borders with harmonies that transcend time. Their melodies, rich with African rhythms and stories, continue to resonate in our hearts, reminding us of the universal power of music to inspire hope, heal, and connect people across all walks of life. Though their presence is no longer felt in the physical realm, their legacy thrives in the beats we dance to, the lyrics we sing along to, and the new artists who follow in their footsteps, keeping their vision alive. Today, we celebrate their contributions, acknowledging the void they've left behind, but also cherishing the timeless gifts they've given us, gifts that will echo across generations. Number 5 on the list is Kosta Titch, the sudden death of South African rapper Kosta Titch, born Konstantinos Tobanoglo at the age of 27, sent shockwaves through the music industry. He collapsed on stage while performing at Ultra South Africa, leaving fans and fellow artists in disbelief. His passing came barely a month after the murder of his mentor and close friend, Kiernan Forbes, widely known as AKA. What made the tragedy even more chilling was that the two had worked together on a project the previous year, only for both to die within months of each other. Kosta Titch had experienced a rapid rise in the hip-hop and amapiano scenes, with tracks like Big Flexer earning him widespread recognition. His immense talent and bright future were cut short, leaving a profound sense of loss in the music world. Number 4 is AKA, the untimely death of Kiernan Forbes, widely known as AKA, shook the music world to its core. At just 35 years old, AKA and his close friend Tabelo Teebs Motoen were victims of a fatal shooting in an act of violence that left fans and fellow artists reeling. The pair were reportedly on their way to a nightclub, where AKA was scheduled to perform in celebration of his birthday when the attack occurred. Authorities are still investigating the motive behind the incident. A trailblazer in South African rap, AKA's influence went far beyond the country's borders, garnering him international recognition and respect. Number 3 on the list, Osinachi Nwachukwu, a renowned Nigerian gospel singer, passed away on Friday, April 8, 2022, at the age of 42 after several days in an undisclosed hospital in Abuja, Nigeria. Known for her powerful voice and moving performances, Osinachi gained widespread recognition through the hit single Ekweme in collaboration with Prosper Ochimana. Her tragic death was surrounded by allegations of domestic abuse, leading to a high-profile case. The federal government subsequently charged her husband Peter Nwachukwu with 23 counts, including culpable homicide, following reports that domestic violence may have contributed to her demise. Number 2 is Nigerian rapper and singer Mohbad, born Ilerioluwa Aloba, tragically passed away at the age of 27 under mysterious circumstances. According to reports from his team on September 12, 2023, Mohbad sought treatment at a hospital for an infection resulting from an injury. After receiving an injection, he lost consciousness and sadly did not wake up. Though young, Mohbad made a significant mark on the Nigerian music scene, especially with his 2020 hit Kopoki. His untimely passing has left a deep void in the industry, with fans and fellow artists mourning the loss of such a promising talent. Number 1 on the list is Ebony Reigns, the tragic death of Priscilla Opoku Kwarteng, known by her stage name Ebony, sent shockwaves across the African continent. Born in 1997, Ebony was a rising star in the Ghanaian music scene, captivating audiences with her unique fusion of dancehall and Afrobeats. Her breakout hits Poison and Coupe quickly earned her national and international recognition. Discovered by Bullet of Roughtown Records, Ebony's raw talent was undeniable, and her first single, Dance Floor, released in 2015, marked the beginning of a promising career. On February 8, 2018, Ebony's life was tragically cut short in a car accident while returning from Sunyani, where she had visited her mother, Madam Beatrice Opong, who had recently returned from the UK. She was just a week away from celebrating her 21st birthday. The accident also claimed the lives of her close friend, Frankie Curry, and a soldier, Francis Atuvondi, who was with them in the Jeep. News of Ebony's death rippled through Ghana and beyond, plunging her fans, friends, and family into mourning. Her mother, upon receiving the devastating news early on Friday morning, could barely comprehend the loss of her daughter, whom she had embraced just hours before. As mourners gathered at their home in Abyssine, some wailed inconsolably, while others collapsed to the ground in grief, unable to grasp the reality of losing such a vibrant young life. Even Ebony's relatives struggled with disbelief. Her aunt, Madam Mercy Frimpoma, clung to hope, insisting that Ebony might only be in a coma, not dead. "This is not true, Lady Princess is not dead," she repeated, as if saying the words aloud might somehow change the outcome. Ebony's last conversation with her mother lingered in their memories. "I have missed you," she had said over the phone, a sentiment that now echoed with heart-wrenching finality. Ebony was the youngest of 3 children, her elder siblings being Nana Kwateng and Happy Opokokokwan. The youngest daughter, whose bright future in music had promised so much, was gone too soon, leaving behind a legacy that will continue to inspire and be cherished by many. But the world of African music has been shaped by many extraordinary talents, but it has also been hit by tragedies that sent shockwaves across the continent and beyond. The sudden and untimely deaths of Osinachi Nwachukwu Mohbad, Costa Titch aka, and Ebony Reigns left an indelible mark not only on their fans but also on the African music industry. Each of these artists contributed immensely to the growth and global recognition of African music, leaving behind a legacy that continues to inspire. In the peak of her career, Ebony was a force to be reckoned with. Her music resonated with many, especially women, who found strength in her bold lyrics and fearless persona. Every time you visited her social media platforms after her passing, the outpouring of grief was overwhelming. People, especially young women, filled the comment section with heartfelt messages, many of them crying out in disbelief. Ebony's music had given voice to their struggles, their pain, and their empowerment. She was seen as a symbol of defiance against societal expectations, singing about subjects many female artists dared not touch. Her songs like Mami Howe and Sponsor became anthems for women, addressing issues like domestic abuse, relationships, and the harsh realities women face. It was this ability to speak for the voiceless that made her death feel like such a personal loss to many. The fact that she passed away at such a young age, barely 20, amplified the tragedy. She had so much ahead of her, so much more to give, and the idea that her bright flame was extinguished too soon broke the hearts of her fans. For days and weeks after her death, her social media pages turned into memorials. Posts flooded in from all corners of the world. Fans shared stories of how Ebony's music had gotten them through tough times, how her unapologetic personality had inspired them to embrace their own identities. There was a deep connection between her and her audience, particularly the women who felt that she stood for them in an industry that often silenced or objectified their voices. Her passing not only left a void in the music industry, but also in the hearts of many women who believed she was speaking directly to them. Ebony had become more than just a musical icon. She was a symbol of hope, strength, and resilience for the modern African woman. Her death was a painful reminder of the fragility of life, and the fact that she was taken in the prime of her youth only made her legacy shine brighter, albeit tinged with sorrow. These 5 stars were not merely musicians, they were cultural beacons who embodied the vast diversity, vibrancy, and spirit of African music. Each one brought a unique sound, blending traditional rhythms with contemporary beats, creating a tapestry that resonated with audiences far beyond their homelands. Their music wasn't just entertainment, it was a reflection of the social issues, struggles, and triumphs of African societies. Their untimely deaths didn't just rob the world of their voices, but of what they were destined to achieve. They were pioneers in their own right, trailblazers whose journeys had just begun. Despite the heartbreaking loss, their influence is still felt today, with their songs echoing across stages, radio waves, and social media platforms. They are immortalized through their art, and their work continues to inspire, challenge, and guide a new generation of artists, not just in Africa, but globally. These stars ignited a revolution in African music, opening doors for international collaborations, setting trends that continue to shape genres, and cementing Africa's place on the world's musical map. Their legacies are etched into the heart of African culture, where their passion and genius will continue to ripple across generations, influencing not just music but fashion, dance, and youth movements across the continent and beyond. Their names, forever tied to Africa's musical renaissance, remain a beacon of creativity, resilience, and pride.